And ahead, a ball celebrating America's favorite pastime.
Family legend has that he took it home, and my grandmother took one look at this dirty thing and said, really? Not on my mantelpiece.
Meet the woman behind the Baseball Hall of Fame and her family's legacy of preservation. But right now, we're going to take a check of your
50,000 people are expected to pour into Cooperstown, New York this weekend. This will help celebrate the introduction of 6 legendary names to baseball's Hall of Fame. But as Peter Greenberg shows us, the chairman of the hall has a unique history herself.
I hope someday that some of the young fellows that's coming into the game will know how it feels to be picked in the Hall of Fame.
Babe Ruth was among the first to be inducted into the National Baseball Hall of Fame in 1939.
This was one of Babe Ruth's uniforms.
His legacy, along with all of the game's greatest, now commemorated in Cooperstown for 75 years.
These are this year inductees.
Jane Forbes Clark is the hall's chairman and granddaughter of its founder, Stephen Carlton Clark.
It all started with this gentleman here, my grandfather.
The hall, which today includes 50,000 square feet of memorabilia, began more modestly with one baseball. This baseball, believed to be owned by Abner Doubleday, an area resident and war hero who at the time was also credited with creating America's pastime. The ball was later acquired by Clark's grandfather.
Family legend has that he took it home, and my grandmother took one look at this dirty thing and said, really? Not on my mantelpiece.
Baseball fans can thank Clark's grandmother for refusing the dirty ball a place on the mantle, since Cooperstown ultimately wound up with the Hall of Fame and an economic engine for the entire community.
We do draw about 300,000 people a year to the village, and our latest numbers show that probably that is worth $500 a head to the Cooperstown economy. Not just here at the Hall of Fame, but to the restaurants, to the other businesses on Main Street.
Clark's business interests and influence in Cooperstown reach well beyond the Hall of Fame. She owns 2 premium hotels here, including one built by her great-grandfather in 1909. There's also the golf course and the local nursing home.
Here we are at the Thanksgiving home.
Constructed by her foundation. The hanging baskets of flowers on Main Street, all 110 of them provided by the Clark Nursery.
Some people call Cooperstown America's perfect village, and that's because of its Main Street.
And of course, every perfect village needs a general store.
And we have it, and it's terrific. We love having it here.
Though synonymous with the Hall of Fame, Cooperstown history goes back a lot further. The village was founded by the father of James Fenimore Cooper, who set his classic novel, The Last of the Mohicans, in the area's unspoiled landscape.
The same natural beauty attracted my family in the mid-1800s and started a 160, 170-year commitment to the preservation, the conservation, and the economic sustainability of the village.
So this building was built when? Clark never married and is the last descendant of her family in Cooperstown.
Originally, that was the front entrance.
Raised in Virginia, she spent childhood summers here. Now she's dedicated to sustaining a 5-generation legacy.
She is Cooperstown, and her family has been for many, many years.
Michael Moffat runs a local restaurant and marina.
She doesn't have demands. She just quietly goes about the sort of charitable work that her family's been doing for so long.
The Clark Foundation provided the land, buildings, and financial support for 2 additional Cooperstown museums that have nothing to do with baseball. This is cool. She even donated the village's first carousel. But to really see the depth of her family's commitment to the conservation of Cooperstown, look no further than Lake Otsego.
I grew up on this lake.
Which looks pretty much as it did when Clark's great-grandmother bought this boat 112 years ago.
The Clark Foundation now owns probably 9.5 miles of real estate on the east side of this lake, and with no plans to develop it.
If Jane Clark wasn't in Cooperstown, if you didn't have this kind of devotion to your community and to this legacy, what would happen to Cooperstown?
I think the strength of our legacy is that I am the 5th generation. There have been 5 generations of us who have done this. And so I think it's strengthened Cooperstown, and I don't think Cooperstown is going to have a problem going forward.
spoken like a woman who has already left an indelible impression. For CBS This Morning, Peter Greenberg, Cooperstown, New York.
Boy, I've never been, but looking at that piece makes me want to go. Makes me want to go.
God bless her.
Yeah, First Lady of Cooperstown, we could call her.
Road trip.
Nice Jane Clark.
Very nice.
It's probably easy to get there, don't you think?
Yeah, just a nice
Get in your car and have a nice ride.
scenic drive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I thought so.
All right, tomorrow
Everybody.
on CBS This Morning.